was out of high school. I just don't remember. I guess he was 18 at the time.
Artifact.
About 38 years. Charlie, how many you worked on?
27.
People enjoy revisiting.
I was out of high school. I just don't remember. I guess it was 18.
Artifact.
It's not an artifact.
About 38 years. Charlie, how many you worked on?
27.
Artifact.
It's not an artifact. It's a memorializing in a way.
Charlie, how many you worked on?
27.
Artifact.
It's not an artifact. It's not an artifact.
People enjoy revisiting.
I was out of high school. I just don't remember. I guess he was 18.
Artifact.
It's not an artifact. This building is where I was born.
Enjoy revisiting.
This building is where I was born.
I was out of high school. I just don't remember. I guess he was 18.
It's not an artifact. This building is where I was born. This building is where I was born. And now it's a bank. Now it's a bank.
Artifact.
It's not an artifact. Now it's a bank. Now it's a bank. Memorializing in a way.
I worked, Coach Taylor, I worked in Colorado. I started out with Eastern Gas and Fuel in Copperson. I worked, Coach Taylor, I worked in Colorado. I started out with Eastern Gas and Fuel in Copperson. I worked, Coach Taylor, I worked in Colorado. I started out with Eastern Gas and Fuel in Copperson. About 38 years. Charlie, how many you worked on?
27.
About 38 years. Charlie, how many you worked on?
27.
Down in the knees.
Raleigh County Coal and Coke. Raleigh Coal and Coke Company.
Down in the knees.
Raleigh County Coal and Coke. Raleigh Coal and Coke Company.
That was very hard work. That was shoving coal.
This used to be one of these streets to live on.
Very hard work. That was shoving coal.
Lots of nice little houses.
This is Woodlawn. It parallels our street, Granville.
Charlie,
Older, wealthy people live.
that was very hard work. That was shoving coal.
This used to be one of these streets to live on. This used to be one of
Because down when I worked in Colorado,
These streets to live on.
That was very hard work. That was shoving coal.
Well, the architect that
Oh, budget cannot be noise.
built it, it was a
Because
library.
down when I worked in Colorado, I started out in Eastern Massachusetts.
Yeah, well, Mark built the auditorium.
That was very hard work. That was shoving coal.
The stonework along here were Italian stonemasons built that. It used to be the first Woodrow Wilson black high school. Now we're going through the black section. And when I came here, I was so impressed that they had such nice homes compared to the way they lived in Nashville.
We had a big dance hall down here for the colored people, and every Saturday night they had to bring the police down and settle the
Okay,
fight.
the originator Bluestone
So
was
one night the sheriff and the policeman went down and burned the place down. Bill Tuber one time went out and just burned the thing down. And he's the sheriff of the county. The sheriff and the policeman went down and burned the place down. Bill Tuber one time went out and just burned the thing down. And he's the sheriff of the county.
Had a couple of them for the burning up here. The first one burnt down.
It was on Bulk Mountain for Ranger Fuel.
The first one burnt
Yeah,
down.
1973.
They come down here when they put the
First one burnt down. The first one burnt down.
Then when they got the barrels in there, got the
The first one burnt down. But the one that I really missed was this boarding house. Now these were the family houses. You can see some of them have been kept up, some of them are falling apart. I don't really know whether they're blacks that live in here or whites. At one time it was a white section. This one's abandoned. This has been replaced with a trailer. This one's, see that one over there? But the one that I really missed was this boarding house. This used to be buildings, they've torn them down. Now this is the City National Bank. It used to be the Bank of Raleigh. That wing on it is the one that we paid for interest.
This building is where I was born.
But the one that I really missed was this boarding house. They've torn them down. This one's abandoned. This has been replaced with a trailer. This one's, see that one over there, Paul? They've torn them down. Straight ahead is a Hunter Cemetery, named after a black preacher that built a lot of churches. You see one in Raleigh. That thing was overgrown until the Reverend Law and I got together and got drains coated off. He cut down all the damn trees. I was so mad at him. There's a couple of people that were born in slavery buried there. Now they probably had dreams of resting under a tree in the shade in their working days. They've torn them down. But the one that I really missed was this boarding house. This was the company store before.
Jim was the
And then we had one. This section here is where the theater and the office.
out of
They've torn them down.
Zanesville, Ohio. And they were
There are a lot of beauty parlors. That little white house back there was a crack house.
Oh, budget cannot control.
Jim worked for this guy.
Budget continuity.
This guy shut down and the other guy.
The photos you could take of these houses don't tell you anything.
They've torn them down.
The photos you could take of these houses don't tell you anything.
They've torn them down.
But you know, people are still living them. But you know, people are still living them.
See, these are new houses. This is Raleigh Road. It's now South Fayette Street. They've torn them down. The first one burnt down.
This line that's right here runs all the way up and under our house in level. It's where the mines, the workout mines, collapsed. My neighbor's house is level. My house is level. It's because way down under the ground there's
Right here on that hillside, you see Raleigh County Raleigh Coal and Coke Company. Well, they're using coal for something and people complain because the coal dust is in their homes and ruining their paint jobs and all that. When the father died in a mining accident, the family moved out of the house above 6 Bottom Mine, number 6 mine, and some of them lived in that house. Well, they're using coal for something and people complain because the coal dust is in their homes and ruining their paint jobs and all that. When the father died in a mining accident, the family moved down.
Usually if you see one of those, you're not around to tell that.
That's right, yeah.
6
Look down here where you had all this explosion, and you don't have any options. There.
Lived in that
Look
house.
down here where you had all this explosion, and you don't have any options.
Usually if you see one of those, you're not around to tell that.
That's right, yeah.
Well, they were using coal for something and people complained because the coal dust was in their homes and ruining their paint jobs and all that. And they had the whistle in case there was an accident or anything. And I forgot how
Pocket
many
methane,
miners
set it off.
killed and all.
Pocket methane.
Usually if you see one of those,
Set it
you're not
off.
around to tell that.
Pocket
They
methane.
had the whistle in case
Set it
there
off.
was an accident.
Methane
I
something.
forgot how many.
Methane something. All these hair, you don't believe the cat line.
And there was a big whistle.
When you had explosion,
You went up that hill by
it
they
destroyed
had
everything.
steps going up
When you
that
had
hill.
explosion, the miner would come
And
by.
he'd come down those
When you
steps
had explosion, it destroyed everything. When you had
and
explosion,
they had the
miner
whistle
would
in
come
case there was
by.
an accident or
Look down
anything.
here
And I
where you
forgot
had
how
all this,
many
explosion.
killed in
You don't have any oxygen.
Raleigh.
You don't have any oxygen.
And there was a
Methane
whistle.
thing.
You went up that
You don't have
hill
any
by
oxygen.
they had steps
Bad.
going up that hill.
You come down here where you had all this explosion, and you don't have any oxygen. In Monongah, in 1907, there's 306.
Raleigh had their slag dumps
So they
before.
perfected these now.
So they came in
What
level.
they call CMS.
Yeah,
It's everything.
yeah, well they are. What kind of oxygen?
Well, they were using coal for something and people complained because the
It's
coal
always
dust
been there.
When you had explosion, the miner would come by and ask the superintendent, do you ask him, how many men? Say, how many men did we lose? Because they could,
Raleigh County.
how many men did we lose?
Raleigh.
I say, how many mules did we lose? You didn't have to buy it.
This was a carpenter job. But first it had been a mule mill.
Sometimes they
now
use
it's
animal haulage.
mean like a barn?
They take a designate their
That's where they
have it for
had
haulage.
mine cars up here, pulling coal out of the ground.
If you use animals, haulage,
first one
which is
burnt
mule or
down.
whatever, you have to make sure that you have your height that the mule do not shake that. You got the thrift mine like we got. We got all over in where
I want a little piece of coal.
A little piece of coal.
give a piece of coal.
I want a little piece of coal.
Give a piece of coal.
A little piece of coal.
I want a little piece of coal.
Give a piece of coal.
A little piece of coal.
I want a little piece of coal.
A little
Give a
piece
piece
of
of
coal.
coal. Give a piece of coal.
I'm so glad to have a
Give a
piece
piece
of
of coal.
coal. I want a little piece of coal.
A little piece of coal.
Give a piece of coal. Give a piece of coal.
That sub-generator station.
Give a piece of coal.
A little piece of coal.
I want a little piece of coal.
Give a piece of coal.
Substation.
Give a piece of coal.
I want a little piece of coal.
Give
Sub-generator station.
a piece of coal. Give a piece of coal.
Much hotter, yeah.
Give a piece of coal. Give a piece of coal. Give a piece of coal. Give a piece of
So
coal.
glad they got me a piece of coal. Piece of coal.
Give a piece of coal.
I'm so glad to have a piece of coal.
Give a piece of coal.
Piece of coal. I'm so glad they got me a piece of coal.
Give a piece of coal. Give a piece of coal. Give a piece of coal. Give a piece of coal.